All right. Good evening, everyone. At this time, I'll call to order the regularly scheduled board meeting for the Village of Midlothian, Wednesday, August 23rd, 2023 at 7 p.m. Roll call, please. Clerk Moscow.
Trustee Burbett?
Here.
Trustee Caveney?
Here.
Trustee Crowley?
Here.
Trustee Hilly?
Here.
Trustee Johnson?
Here.
Trustee Killily?
Here.
Mayor LaRue?
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you, sir. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And for tonight's moment of silence, I would like that to go for the victims of the tragic fires in Maui.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right. We were supposed to have a presentation from Cook County Commissioner Donna Miller, but she's not here yet, so we'll move on to the appointment of Daniel Metzger for a full-time probationary police officer.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
Daniel Metzger,
Having been appointed
having been appointed
to the position
to the position
of full-time probationary police officer
of full-time probationary police officer
in the Village of Midlothian
in the Village of Midlothian
in the County of Cook,
in the County of Cook,
aforesaid do solemnly swear
aforesaid do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States,
of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the ordinances of the Village of Midlothian,
and the ordinances of the Village of Midlothian,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the position of probationary full-time police officer
of the position of probationary full-time police officer
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, my mother.
Mom. You got pictures?
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you for joining the team, Officer Metzger. Appreciate it. Yeah, if you guys would like to leave. Thanks for coming. You're welcome to stay.
Lots of riveting stuff.
All right, moving on. At this time, I'll open the floor to public comment. Is there any public comment tonight? Yes, sir. Come up to the microphone here and state your name. And you got 3 minutes.
Casey with the Illinois Solar for All program. We work in conjunction with ComEd. We're geared towards low, medium income residents. For the Illinois Solar for All, what is Illinois Solar for All is an ILSFA program provides greater access to clean energy economy and solar energy to low-income households, nonprofit organizations, and public facilities across the state through incentives that help make solar installations more affordable. The ILSFA Low-Income Community Solar Subprogram allows qualified low-income participants to benefit from affordable solar energy. So, for example, if any of the residents are receiving SNAP, LIHEAP, LINK, Lifeline, public housing, TAMF, or ACP, any of those programs qualify them for additional assistance automatically on their ComEd bill. It's a line item. They get credits through the solar farms that our developers build for ComEd. because ComEd is mandated through a state law, a state mandate where they have to have a certain amount of clean energy while we've been seeing all the solar panels on everybody's homes. Well, we're building massive solar farms for ComEd. And so any residents who are on those programs that I mentioned, they're able to subscribe. It doesn't happen automatically, otherwise it would already happen, and there's not enough solar for everybody. You have to actually subscribe for the program. So that's why they hire folks such as us to let the residents know at a face-to-face level on how to get those extra benefits. But if you're not getting any government assistance, you don't qualify. You have to already be getting government assistance. So Illinois only wants to hand these savings down to low, medium income residents, if that makes any sense to you folks. So I applied to solicit about 6 months ago in the town to let the residents know at a face-to-face level, and I was denied. I wasn't 100% honest about, I had a DUI 10 years ago, so when I do reapply, I do hope that I'm accepted, because I would like to let your residents know at a face-to-face level. It doesn't cost them anything. Normally with community solar, you have to have a 650 credit and above, and they credit your bill, and then you pay the developer back at a discounted price. With the low, medium income community solar, it's just a line item on their bill. So they don't get a separate bill. It just shows up right on their bill. And it lasts for 1 year, and then 3 months before the program's done, they reach out to the subscriber to see if they want to keep the program, or they send them an email as well. So that's all I want to know, is let the residents know about this program. It's all through the Illinois Power Agency. It's all regulated by the IPA. That's why we're able to build these solar farms on the farmers' lands in Manteno and Piatone, that if you guys go out there, you'll see huge solar farms that we're building to help ComEd become more green. So I have this young lady's contact information, Ms. Crowley, and I will be sending you a proper letter, the legal documentation. It'll have a link as well as my contact information. So if you guys could let the residents know in some type of newsletter or however fashion you want to do that formally, I'm from Tinley Park. So, Tinley Park residents, they do qualify, but I know Midlothian, Blue Island in this area, there's a lot of folks that are getting assistance, and we would like to pass that assistance on down to them, if that makes any sense. All right, well, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Do you have any information that he provides Deputy Clerk
Harris.
Sure, do you have
Many
an
years
email, like a card I can send to your email? I'd love to. I'd love that, yes.
She could handle getting it on our website, social media.
It's free, it's a government assistance program, if they're already receiving assistance, like LIHEAP, it's a line item on their bill, it's just an extra line item on their bill.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Thanks for coming out. You did well.
Thank you.
I know you're nervous.
Thank you so much. Folks, have a nice day.
So I see we have the pleasure of Cook County Commissioner Donna Miller in the house, so would you like to take some time to speak to us?
Thank you. Sorry, I'm running around today.
Yeah.
So, good evening, everyone.
Good
to see
evening.
you all. I know it's been a minute since I've been back here, but I want to thank you for allowing me to address you on behalf of Cook County. So for those of you who don't know, and those of you here, I'm Cook County Commissioner Donna Miller, and I represent the 6th District, which part of it is Midlothian, but a little bit. So that's okay, but I'll claim it all. So, so greetings to all of you, and I'm here today to bring you some good news that you probably already know about and have already talked about the investments that are coming to Midlothian, specifically the Invest in Cook program, which thanks to funding from the ARPA funding, the American Rescue Plan Act, we've been able to expand opportunities for projects this year to include projects in Midlothian. So many of you know that a lot of this has been years of conversation in the works, and thank you, Mayor, for not giving up, and all the rest of you for keeping the information circulating, keeping it top of mind, and when there was a bucket of money to assign this money to, Invest in Cook was able to do that. So Invest in Cook, for those of you who also might not know, it's an $8.5 million program that covers the cost of planning and feasibility studies, engineering, right-of-way acquisition, and construction associated with transportation improvements, sponsored by local and regional governments and private partners. This program is designed to solicit applications for improvements consistent with the 5 priorities of the Connecting Cook County, the county's long-range transportation plan, which I know you all have memorized and know in depth. So I won't go over what those are, but in my capacity as the commissioner, I focus not only on my district alone, but making sure that the whole Southland as a region is part of this whole discussion, especially for investing Cook money. And when we have in Cook County government, when it comes to investments and services and programs over which the county has jurisdiction. So that's why I wanted to come by today to share some good news that working together with all of you, as well as President Pretwinkle and her administration, the Cook County Department of Transportation, which I know you've had many meetings with and talked exclusively with Sis Killen. The following awards have been approved for 2023. So you're getting that right away, and dedication, design, and construction for Linder Avenue. And I'm sure that everyone wants to cheer and say hooray, yes. So it's $800,000. And this is really important when you think about all the work that you guys have thought about, talked about, and focused on for this. When I first came in the office, we've been talking about this. So that was almost 5 years ago. So I won't go over everything about the project because it does predate me being here from the county board several years, but now we're in a position to finally make progress in improving this road. So I just want to say yay. So, so congratulations on getting that done. And then I also wanted to let you know about another award that's not directly for Midlothian, but it does apply to this as well. It's a $1.5 million award for flood control on the Calumet Sag tributary, which includes a replacement of existing culverts, channel improvements, expansion of existing detention facilities, and construction of new detention facilities to address local flooding. So this was a project identified through MWRD and the local stormwater partnership, and MWRD will lead this agency on this project. But I just wanted to highlight that project just to show how all different levels of government are working together on things that are going to be improvements, not only in local communities, but it extends beyond just Midlothian, but it extends all the way out throughout all of the Southland. Which brings me to the third award that also affects Bremen Township, which obviously part of Midlothian is a part of, and that's a $100,000 award for a planning study to identify potential solutions to address local flooding. So this is talking about subdivision runoff from the west, and it inundates the roadway and residential properties. And this project was identified through Department of Transportation, flooding records. And I mention this because, again, it covers, tags into what's happening on Linder Avenue, north of 147th Street, and it's part of the unincorporated part of Bremen Township. So all of you know that unincorporated areas are what are under our jurisdiction as the county commissioners. So I just want to say thank you for allowing me to bring this information to you today. I always appreciate working with all of you, and make sure that you bring any intentions. I just say that, you never know what funding is going to be available. We couldn't have planned 4 years ago when we were talking about this when I first came into office that we would have this unprecedented ARPA funding. But the records of making sure that, you've had the same conversation about the exact same roadway, and they found a place to put that infrastructure project, and that's how we get it done. So thank you all. And I'll take any questions if you think I can answer them.
I'm just overjoyed about the whole Linder thing. Superintendent Sperry's been here 38 and a half years. How long have we been talking about Linder Avenue?
38 years.
Right.
And the residents there will be so happy. And again, it was
Yeah.
the jurisdictional, thank you so much. It's just incredible.
And, we pulled it together.
Yeah.
You kept having many conversations with them about it.
Just publicly want to thank you and Commissioner Gordon and President Pretwinkle again for not forgetting about us, the whole South. And I've felt over the last few years that President Pretwinkle has really knows us. And it's just, we appreciate it. The board thanks you, the village thanks you. So thank you for your time.
My pleasure.
Who's your guy back?
Oh, so that's Jeremy, and he's new on my team for all of you. He's in my district office, so he's in Oak Forest, Jeremy Young. So, my district office is in Oak Forest, so we are going to be there with Jeremy being there. We're trying to just really make sure we're coordinating all the things that happen throughout the Southland and making sure that these conversations don't end here.
Appreciate it. Anyone else?
The only thing that I would say is thank you again, for Linda, I mean, I think I was kind of shocked and taken back. I would like to just put on your radar that we did apply for the BRIC grant, and we hear that the FEMA will be sending out the letters this week for that, and then we're going to really need to muster up some support if we pass through FEMA to go through EMA to get the money.
Okay.
And it would be huge for us for flooding in our Jolly Homes area.
Absolutely.
So I talked to the mayor about it a little bit today, but
Yep.
we're going to need all the support we can get if we can.
Well,
get
I'm
that.
happy to help.
We
Yeah.
kind of get the impression that
Someone from the county reached out to Metropolitan Water Reclamation District and kind of set them our way, and something good may happen there. Maybe. No commitment.
I forward on all information, so not just that. So.
We appreciate it.
And one other thing I'd like to let you know about, so next week I'm having a forum in South Holland focused on the Justice 40 initiative, and that's another federal government program that is incorporating, again, once in a lifetime, unprecedented funding on infrastructure projects that are focused on making sure that 40% of the funding goes to underserved communities. So there's ways that communities individually can apply for money, counties can apply for money, states can apply for money, businesses. So if you haven't seen that information, and if anyone has time to come to the forum next week, we're going to be talking about it really high level. But the biggest thing about that sort of money, and it's grant money that's from every department of the federal government that you can apply for infrastructure projects. I think, there's going to be technical advisors who might be there who can help you structure something, because I don't want to say there's no rules to it, but there are no guidelines as to how and what it's being spent on. They're just very loosely and broadly saying infrastructure projects. So I'd encourage you to take a look at what falls under those categories. I'm really trying to focus on all the municipalities in the south suburbs to say, hey, something that might be in Midlothian bumps up to another municipality. If you work together on getting some of this grant money, it benefits all of us. So
Where's that at, Ms. Miller?
it's going to be in South Holland next.
South Suburban?
No, it's at the South Holland Community Center at I think it starts at 5 o'clock. 5:30. Okay, thank you. 5:30 to 7:30. So we're going to have different people there, vendors like that guy who was just here. I should have caught him, but talking about different things like that, solar, all of it. But I just think that this is another way that we can use someone else's money to help us, not only on the county level or the state level, but certainly on the municipality level.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for allowing me to speak tonight. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else have any public comment tonight? Bob? I knew you had to be here for a reason.
I even have a folder.
Oh.
Hi, my name is Robert Babcock. I live on right off of Turner, 14643, and I have a small complaint. Not about you guys. Two businesses on 147th. One is 5 Star Liquor. One is ABC Cellular. They do not know how to take care of their garbage. They consistently overflow their dumpsters. It'll sit there for a week because you can tell they don't pay their bills for pickups. Could be 2 weeks. One particular dumpster has been sitting there for 5 weeks. It's full, hasn't been picked up. Republic passes it every morning because I talk to the guy every morning as I'm going to work, and he basically said they owe him a lot of money. So now they have a dumpster from Homewood Disposal next to it, and now that's overfilled. And I took pictures this morning of all the cardboard and everything that fell out of the dumpster constantly that spreads around the alley, my yard, the neighbor's yard. Kathleen knows. We go back and forth on emails, sometimes a weekly, bi-weekly, or even monthly basis for the past 2 years. So I just included some pictures from this morning, and I just want to know if there's anything that can be done, because obviously they don't get the hint that this is a constant problem. They just don't care. I've watched them dump their empty boxes, and whatever falls out, they just walk over. They don't pick it up off the ground. And that ends up being my job. ABC Cellular likes to wait 3 weeks to put their garbage out. They overfill the dumpster, and half of it has food in it. Well, overnight, animals get in it, and then I'm picking up the mess because I've seen rats back there recently. So I'm just voicing my concern. I can only hit Kathleen so many times, and it's just, You know, it's, I figured, you know, I got to get off her back and spread the word a little bit. Not that she hasn't done, and, you know, she's been super with communicating almost instantly that she'll get on, you know, look into it and this and that. And I know there's only so much she can do, but I just figured I would voice my disgust. Plus, they're, you know, they don't cut their grass but once a month, so half the time the grass is 6 inches tall. They got weeds back there that look like they belong in a jungle because they're about a foot tall, sometimes higher. And every time I try to talk to them, they just shut the door and leave. So I figured it's...
I'm Trustee Cavey could probably speak more to it, but I know for a fact they are getting citations. I don't know what the next step would be if this was...
Yeah, they just don't care. It's just, it seems like they just don't care. Or they're legitimately doing it on purpose because they're getting complaints and they just don't care. They'll just pay it.
The photograph you sent me this morning, I did forward to the property owner, and I asked him to please have it remediated and cleaned up right away.
Oh, I cleaned it up before I came here.
No, well, I asked him to have the dump, and I asked him to have the dumpster emptied out right away, and told him that the dumpsters are not supposed to be overflowing. If they've got that much garbage, they need to be calling their refuse company to have them come and empty it right away.
Oh, and that's what you would assume too. But even, I mean, ABC Cellular must be paying their bill because they get picked up weekly, and Republic just passes the liquor store's Republic dumpster.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the Homewood one showed up, and then that one got overfilled. So who knows what they got going on. But this has been going on for years. But that's all. I just wanted to voice that.
All right. Thank
Thanks.
you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? Ms. Faulkner,
Yep,
we can bring the mic to you.
I can walk that far.
Okay, you sure?
Kathy Faulkner. We were out running errands today, and yeah, it was 101 Don. And first we went through Markham, and it was not good. Markham has a lot of abandoned buildings and boarded up buildings and overgrown landscape and things like that. And then we came back to Midlothian, and it was like, everything was nice and the landscape was good, and it just seemed so bright and cheerful being in Midlothian. So I think we have a beautiful town, and that's my comment.
No, thank you.
Thank you, Kat.
It's a beautiful town because of people like you, Kathy. You know that, right? But we have our issues too, and our building department works very hard to keep up with it. I mean, as Mr. Babcock was saying, I mean, it's a struggle. Trustee Cave and I were talking today with someone else, and springtime, it's tough with the grass growing so quick, and but once we get on top of it, we're usually stay on top of it. So it's a struggle every year. But thank you. Very nice comment. Anyone else? All right, then I will close the floor to public comment. Would you like to take off, Commissioner Miller, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just wanted to hear the public comment. Thank you. Take care.
Markham is.
All right, we will move on to tonight's consent agenda. On to tonight's consent agenda. Number 1, approval of ordinance 2127, ordinance amending Title 4, Chapter 23, Section 423.4 and 423.8 of the Municipal Code of the Village of Midlothian to add provisions ensuring security measures on vacant properties. Number 2, approval to purchase and install 5 DSR2 antenna radars for the police department. Number 3, approval to purchase multimedia stackable storage cabinets to store tickets for the police department, or it should be police station, I guess. Number 4, approval of the July 2023 Building Department monthly report. Number 5, approval of the July 2023 Fire Department monthly report. Number 6, approval of the July 2023 Police Department monthly report. Number 7, approval of the July 2023 Public Works Department monthly report. Number 8, approval of the July 2023 Treasurer's monthly report. Number 9, approval of the July 2023 Administration Department monthly report. And number 10, approval of the list of bills. Is there any item any trustee would like off tonight's consent agenda?
Sir, if I could have the radar off, I have a clarification. Number,
2.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Anyone else? then I am looking for,
Yeah. I think you have to abstain on that, yes. Yeah, so remove it. Trustee Johnson is getting a check and she wants to abstain.
trustee Johnson would like to, number 10, the approval of the list of bills off of the consent agenda as well. Anyone else? All right, then I'm looking for a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda without item 2, which was the approval to purchase and install 5 DSR2 antenna radar cameras, and number 10, approval of the list of bills.
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please, Clerk Mosco.
Trustee Kaveny?
Aye.
Trustee Crowley?
Aye.
Trustee Burbett?
Aye.
Trustee Hilly?
Aye.
Trustee Johnson?
Aye.
Trustee Killy?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, sir. At this time, I'm looking for a motion to approve the purchase and installation of 5 DSR2 antenna radars for the police department.
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
Discussion.
All I wanted to do is a clarification. Last week, I had stated that that for the installation, it would cost $650. It was actually, the quote is actually for $1,300. It was 1 when I thought it was 2 that they were quoting, so I times it by 5 instead of just adding it 2, but the difference is $650. So I just wanted to clarify that because last week I told the board it was about $650 and it's $1,300. They are still being paid out of seized funds, but I just wanted to make that clarification for the record.
So, what was stated at last week's meeting as far as the total price?
11,000, it's $650 more than I stated last week. I don't remember the exact dollar amount, sir. It is $10,587.50 for the radar, and instead of $650, it's $1,300 for the installation, which is a total.
11,887.
$11,887, sir. Thank you, Clerk.
You still okay with your motion?
Yes.
You're okay with your second? Board's okay with this? 11,887. And this is going to Stalker Radar Applied Concepts. All right, roll call, please.
Trustee Crowley?
Aye.
Trustee Kaveny?
Aye.
Trustee Burbett?
Aye.
Trustee Hilly?
Aye.
Trustee Johnson?
Aye.
Trustee Killy?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, sir. At this time, I'm looking for a motion to approve the list of bills.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. Discussion?
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to discuss, I am scheduled to receive payment for food and entertainment for the village picnic, and I didn't think it was appropriate for me to vote yes or present. So that's why I wanted to have it taken off.
Very good. Anyone else? Didn't, you know, you've already told her what she's supposed to vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The roll call, please, Clerk Mosco.
Trustee Crowley?
Aye.
Trustee Hilly?
Aye.
Trustee Burbett?
Aye.
Trustee Kaveny?
Aye.
Trustee Johnson?
Present.
Trustee Killy?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to trustee business, trustee Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. I have nothing tonight.
Thank you, ma'am. Trustee Burbett.
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Hilly.
Nothing tonight, sir.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Gavin.
Yes, Mayor, the only thing I would like to announce this evening is that we do have our theme for our Scarecrow event that will be held the last Sunday in October. And our theme this year will be Scarecrows Around the World, celebrating Midlothian's diversity and honoring our ancestors. And I would like to thank Kathy Faulkner for coming up with that fabulous idea. So, everybody start getting all your Scarecrow outfits and all your Scarecrow supplies together. Can we have some new rules this year? Like if you've won the last 3 years in the row for the village, you don't get to, sorry, I stand corrected, the last 4 years in a row.
Four.
You get like 10 points deducted from your final score or something? I will talk to the secret judges about that.
What's the theme?
The theme is Scarecrows Around the World, celebrating Midlothian's diversity and honoring our ancestors.
Awesome.
So, I expect to see a couple of
Scottish scarecrow.
Scottish scarecrows, couple Irish ones, couple German ones, a couple of, I know I'm gonna say this wrong, how do you say the Day of the Dead? Yes, that. What she said. Couple of German ones, and
How would that work for you? Polish, Irish?
I don't think we have a lot of Polish in Midlothian's history. More Scottish.
no, so I'm looking forward to seeing everyone's creativity and how they would like to honor their ancestry here in town.
Thank you. That's it.
That's all I have.
Trustee Coley?
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Crowley?
Just a couple things tonight, sir. I just wanted to let the board know Superintendent Sperry had sent an email out. Our first project will be started for our ARPA funds, and that is the addition of streetlights throughout the village. The police department did a safety audit a few months back. They worked with Superintendent Sperry. They got together with ComEd, and I believe the 15th and 16th of September is the projected date, right, Joe? So we will be starting that, so residents may see that there are some streetlights, new additional streetlights going up in areas where it was very poorly lit. The cost of that is just under $16,000 to the village. That is being paid out of ARPA funds. I have reached out to our ARPA specialist through our grant writer, who's going to get me some examples, but we will need to not really pass a ordinance, but we need to codify it when we do the bills and acknowledge that everybody agrees that it is being paid, we vote on to be paid out of the ARPA funds. So that'll be something that we'll be doing in the near future. And Finance Director Redmond will also be adding a ARPA account number to it so we can keep track of these projects, and this is actually our first, so I'm kind of excited about that. Yeah, but we haven't paid for it yet. So as soon as we pay for it, then we'll do the same. Whatever we do, I'm guessing we'll follow the same suit for everything.
Those are very pretty fire hydrants, I'm telling you. They did a really nice job. Do you agree?
They're gonna be painted though, right?
A lot of them are already painted.
Oh, are they? The ones by me aren't painted yet. I'm like, wait, that's the color they're gonna be? Oh, okay, yeah, I saw that. But yeah, when you get that, Joe, if you just email it, we'll vote on it and make sure it gets another number from the bond. And then the only other two things I had was grant updates. I kind of already went over the BRIC grant. That's a grant that we applied for through our grant writer for $6 million for the Jolly Homes project. We're really hopeful to get this. It'd be a huge start on our flooding, addressing our flooding issues over there. A thank you to David, I'm not going to say your name right, your last name. Pletta, to Engineer Pletta. He did a lot of work and thought outside the box that none of us thought of, and came up with an idea for us to submit for the grant that I think is great, and I think it's, hopefully we're going to get the nod from FEMA, and then we will just need approval for funding from EMA, and that would be a huge help to the village. So thanks to everybody who was involved in that. We will also be applying in the next few weeks for the Safe Roads to School grant, as well as the Green Infrastructure grant. Trustee Caveney brought the Green Infrastructure grant forward, and again, with Superintendent Sperry and Engineer Plata, we are going to be putting in an application for that, and we will also be applying for the Safe Roads to School. Will be sidewalk repair and replacement around our schools so that children can get to and from school safely. So I'll keep everybody updated, and that's all I have this evening, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Did you want to give the kudos to Engineer Plata about his timely responses and his
Well,
short
I do,
timeliness?
so if, since we're gonna bring it up, sir, I have absolutely no problem. Everyone knows me knows I love 50 words or less in an email. And Engineer Plata is the first engineer who has emailed me now 5 times. It's always less than 50 words, and it's never long drawn out, and it's always like within an hour.
And we can
So-
understand it.
And we can, it's real words. So
Well-
thank you.
Well done, sir.
It's all about you tonight, sir.
All right. That's it? Trustee Crowley?
The street lights you're talking about, are those the small ones that go on the utility poles? Do you see like by a bunch of the parking lots in that?
No, there'll be like street, like the wooden poles on your blocks. In,
That's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to explain. That's.
Yeah, I know that you requested one over there behind the back corner. I'm not sure if that's on there or not. I have to check. But I think it might.
It's either one, there's two poles that
Right.
right up a corner really good.
Yeah, it may be one of them.
is that all tonight?
That's all I have, sir.
Okay. Moving on to department heads, Chief Hotwagner.
Yes, sir, a couple things. I'd like to read a synopsis of a letter I received from one of the guys that were on call we had a couple weeks ago in Robbins. Sunday morning around 6:30, Midlothian was called to assist Robbins for a structure fire. While en route, dispatch stated that someone was trapped inside, and then Robbins called over the radio and asked us to expedite. Upon arrival to the scene, Captain Kucharski and firefighter Bailey got off the rig, promptly geared up, made entry into the building. Once they did, they met up with 3 Blue Island firefighters, and they made a rescue. The victim was 400-plus pounds, suffering from smoke inhalation, and he was unable to walk. This is not an easy rescue because of the size of the patient and the lack of manpower in the fire service now. Captain Kucharski displayed leadership, discipline, knowledge, and strength, as always, but especially on this call. Firefighter Bailey had confidence in himself, his training, and his leader. He followed directions and used his power to aid in this rescue. This was a true test because firefighter Bailey just got back from injury this past week. These are types of calls we train for, but luckily seldom come across. Sunday morning exposed the lack of manpower in the fire service, but spotlighted the incredible job these guys did. I'm very proud of Captain Kucharski, firefighter Bailey, and firefighter Latek, who wrote the letter, and the 3 firefighters from Blue Island. I'd like to thank them all. Also, I'd like to commend all of our firefighters, paramedics for stepping up and taking on additional overtime all summer long. So our residents we can provide residents with best possible response times and care. Our guys have really stepped up. We've been, as you guys know, we've been short on manpower, and some guys have worked 48s and even 72s, so they did an awesome job. I'd like to thank those guys. And lastly, some good news. I received a letter from FEMA that we received a grant. I'd like to thank Joe McClellan and our grant writing company who did that. I sent it to Trustee Crowley today. I'll read a brief synopsis of this. Congratulations on behalf of the Department of Homeland Security. Your application submitted for fiscal year 2022 Fire Prevention and Safety Grant has been approved in the amount of $8,761.90. As a condition of the grant, we have a 5% match, which turns out to be $438 for a total budget of $9,200. This grant's for residential Knox boxes. So they will allow us to provide us with up to 25 homes with Knox boxes where there's elderly or disabled people, residents may be bedridden. We can put these Knox boxes on their house, put their key into it, and we only have a key to get into it. The same as our businesses have in town. So it's a huge thing. It's fire prevention. It's one of the things that was top on the list, and we got awarded. So it provides funding for 2 years, so 25 boxes per year for 2 years.
It's fantastic.
So, thank you. That's all.
Good job. Good. And well done on that call. You shared some details. That's tough.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, thanks, sir. Deputy Chief Tavermina?
Yes, sir. From the police department, I would just like to remind everybody, schools are back in session this week. And please drive respectfully throughout town and be especially mindful and near the school zones. Have a safe rest of your summer, and thank you.
Thank you, sir. Superintendent Sperry.
I just wanted to let the residents know that we have a sewer project. It's not a project, it was an emergency. The sewer main collapsed on the 150th block of Lawndale Avenue, which is a vital arterial, route to Central Park School. That's going to be closed tomorrow. Hopefully we can complete that. We've been working on it since Monday, and it's just been the pipe keeps collapsing, so we're going to be working on it tomorrow, so just kind of be conscious of that and reroute your route to school there. That's it.
Sir. Engineer Plata?
Nothing to report tonight, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Deputy Clerk Harris?
Just looking forward to that 5th win for the Scarecrow Challenge. No, it's actually a really great idea, so I've got some ideas of my own. So thank you, Ms. Faulkner. And that's all I have.
Thank you, ma'am. Director Redmond?
No report tonight, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Attorney Valdez?
Just that the negotiating team, with regard to the firefighters contract, will be meeting tomorrow. And on Tuesday, me and the police chief will be negotiating the contract for the ICOPS union. And we will need a closed session for our next board meeting so that we can discuss the same. That's all I have.
Thank you. Seems like the theme tonight is grants, so I give a little update. Trustee Killey and Superintendent Sperry and I met with the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning for our grant readiness project kickoff meeting on Tuesday, yesterday, and it was a great meeting, I thought. While we're obviously doing a fantastic job of getting grants, this project is going to help us devise a life cycle plan for all grants in general, so that when we're no longer here getting grants, we'll know whose job it is to do what. So it was exciting, good meeting, you thought? It was,
Yes,
yeah, good
and
meeting.
trustee Crowley was on today.
That's right, you spoke with today.
Yeah.
So, very excited about that. We're gonna probably start with weekly update meetings, and then we're gonna, they're gonna be coming to town to talk to all of our departments and get our priorities, and they can also help with funding sources as well, once they learn what our most priorities are. So, that's all I got. Clerk Moscow?
I just have one thing this evening. We received a request for permission from St. Christopher School for their annual 5K run to be held on Saturday, October 14th. It is the same map as they've had the last several years, which we can share with the police department and the fire department. They would like to start with their opening ceremonies at 8:10 a.m. and kick off the race at 8:30 a.m. They expect to be finished by 11 a.m. Does anyone on the board have any concerns? It's always been a well-organized and coordinated event, so I will have Deputy Clerk Harris send them a letter confirming our permission. That's all I have.
And once again, I expect all of you out there with Clerk Moscow and I, walking in this race. Race, not really a race. All right,
We
thanks.
won a few times.
Yeah, we jog a little bit. All right, seeing there's no further business coming for the board, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you all.